Okay, Shalom. I want to give all the praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Shalom, Labakarium, Shal Yasha'Allah. That's peace to the elect of the nation of Israel. Now, this video comes from over across the pond. There's a Kwan out there. Shalom to you. If I'm not mistaken, I think his name is Elder Zakwan Yawakanin. Children of Israel is the page. He has another page too, but I'm looking at this right now. Children of Israel 144. All right, it's a thorough video. It's still live. About I caught it in the middle, but I had to rewind it because it's 25 minutes of information that we already know. But I'm sitting here watching it and I'm just blown away, man, because we know that this day is here. It's not coming no more. These are the last days of using the credit card system, the debit card, Cash App, Venmo, Apple Pay. These are the last days. Prophecy is now taking flight. So we're gonna just begin with this is mind blowing. Even though we teach it, this is serious. I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at this video, and I'm just shaking my head. We are here. We are in the time of the mark of the beast. The beast system is laid out. We know the mark to be the charagma. We know who the beasts represent men, like when you go into Daniel, the 7th chapter. The 4 beasts, which are empires. Men run empires. And this is the final empire that's being ran by Esau. And the Lord is about to take this beast down. But not before he chipped a good 90% of the world. They're going to take it. And the only people that's going to make it out of here is the faithful ones. Because without this here, I don't know what you're going to do. I just don't know. And neither we at a time to we ain't worried about it either. We worried about our own ass. This is Habakkuk 2 verse 2. But you know what I'm gonna do? Let me read this in the AMP. Then Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision. And that's what we got. These prophecies, these visions. And it says, write the vision and engrave it plainly on clay. And it's the spirit, because that charagma is an engraving tool, which is the syringe, as you're going to see inside this this documentary here. And we used to use a chisel to engrave certain things on stone. And that charagma goes into imprinted stamp that's going to go under the skin. So it says, so that the one who reads it will run, and that's us. We read these scriptures, we off to blow the trumpet. We off to the races. It says, for the vision, for these visions, these prophecies, is yet for an appointed future time. It hurries toward the goal of fulfillment. And this is being fulfilled. The goal is what? To get 90% of the world chipped. World War III breaks out. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah shows up. And you have Jacob's trouble that has started, but it will escalate as they imprison more and more people to this device. Because that's what they're going to do. It will not fail. And these prophecies has not failed. That's why it's mind-blowing. You read them, we teach them, and you sit back and you watch the prophecies walking through planet Earth right now. And what that does is strengthens our faith. I know it strengthens my faith just seeing this video here. And shalom to you out there, the Akim in London, where brothers are on their job. This brother be on his job, man. This elder here. The men of the Lord is doing their job, but this job is about to stop. So we don't care if we sound like a broken record, and I know that scripture already, but are you ready to face it? Are you ready to face this? Do you have the faith to face what we've been telling you about? We don't care if you tired of hearing it. You about to face it. Can you deal with this? And we know the penalty for taking his chip. You're not going to get away with your little shitty ass lifestyle. This is a serious, serious thing here. It says it will not fail. Even though it delays, wait patiently for it. And we are patiently waiting for who? The return of Yahushua. We know this prophecy gets stopped in the middle. As the world gets chipped, the elites are celebrating. They putting everything global into that device. You can't move. You can't breathe. You can't buy, sell, nothing. Everything goes into this digital system. The elites are celebrating because basically you part of their database now. They moving forward with their new world order, and Yahushua shows up and put a stop to this wicked ass party, man. It says, because it will certainly come. You gonna walk out your door one day. Because people not even going to see this video. They not watching. But they're going to have to deal with it. You're going to go to your job, and they're going to say, oh, by the way, come sign this paperwork. This is the new way we doing the system here over at UPS, FedEx, Target, wherever you work at. Because everybody working in these box stores. Everybody working some form of box and some form of cubicle where the elites have total control of your situation. Your retirement, your 401k, whatever you think you got going, it's in their hands. And you're going to have to sign this paperwork, take this device, because this is the new way of tracking you and how you move around. This is the new system. And you're going to be faced with a terrible decision because you've been playing around with this thing. And a lot of, especially the women going to take it, man, out of fear. And it's going to happen fast. Esau, they're going to give you a chance to, take 6 months off and think about it. This is the time to think about it. They're going to be like, look, you taking it or not? If not, get out the line. You got to go over there. You're going to be like, what's over there? Oh, that's icing them. Because you can't no longer walk around these streets without the device. They got a special place for you and your family. This is how deadly it's about to get. That's why it says in a prophecy, who don't take it, you basically dead to the world. So if you ain't got the faith right now, what can the Lord do with you? You know, you're going to have to take this device. It will not delay. And of course, you know, Hebrews 10, verse 37 about, not turning back because the Lord is about to make a move. Maybe we can get that next. But this is the Copyright Act disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976. Allowance is made for fair use. So this is fair use under the Copyright Act, Section 107. This is not for monetary fund. This is educational and spiritual use only.
In Sweden, a woman waves her hand over a scanner and boards the train. No ticket, no phone, no wallet, just her hand. Inside it, a microchip. She's one of thousands who've made this choice. What started in one country is now spreading across the globe. And the Bible warned us this was coming. Most people think the mark of the beast is something far off in the future, something that will happen during obvious end times. Something we'll see coming from miles away. They're wrong. The technology isn't coming. It's already here. And it's not being forced on people. They're lining up to get it. We're talking about subcutaneous microchips, devices the size of a grain of rice, inserted just beneath the skin, usually between the thumb and index finger. A quick injection, less painful than a vaccine, and it's done. Permanent, always with you. These chips do what used to require a wallet full of cards. They unlock office buildings, start your car, log you into your computer, store your medical records, and most importantly, they let you buy and sell. Over 50,000 people worldwide have already accepted these implants. That number grows every month. Tech companies are promoting them. Hospitals are using them. Governments are testing them on their own employees. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is documented reality. The company Biohacks International has implanted thousands. 3 Square Market in Wisconsin made headlines when they chipped their workers. In Germany, entire corporations have adopted the system. In Belgium, government offices are running pilot programs. But here's what makes this different from every other technology humans have invented. This one goes inside you. Your phone can be turned off. Your credit card can be left at home. Your laptop can be shut down. But a chip under your skin, that's with you when you sleep, when you shower, when you pray. It becomes part of your body. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous from a prophetic standpoint. Because Revelation 13 doesn't talk about a device you carry. It talks about a mark you receive on your right hand or on your forehead. A mark that determines whether you can participate in society, whether you can buy food, sell your labor, survive. For centuries, people read those verses and wondered how such a system could ever work. How could one man control all commerce on earth? How could anyone enforce a rule that says no one buys or sells without his mark? They wondered because the technology didn't exist. Now it does. The infrastructure is being built right now, not in secret underground labs, not in some hidden government facility, out in the open, in shopping malls, office buildings, hospitals, train stations, and people are accepting it willingly. They see the convenience, the security, the speed. They don't see the structure being built beneath it all. A structure that could very easily become the system Revelation warned about. Now, before we go further, we need to be clear about something. But these chips are doing something equally dangerous. They're normalizing the concept, training an entire generation to think it's normal for technology to be inside the human body, building the exact infrastructure the mark will need, creating a world where buying and selling are controlled by a mark in your hand. The foundation is being laid, and most people have no idea what they're preparing for. Let's look at where...
Now we gonna think about this, man. Now, you know, our apostles always say, by now, you should know that Revelation 13 and 16 is talking about the chip. It's not like the 80s when this technology was a little questionable. You needed more faith, right? Because the rollout wasn't like this. The 90s, right? But we in the year 2026 AD, where there's hundreds of thousands of people now walking around using this. And you got these camps still fighting against this prophecy, which is very scary because you could be up under a leader that's been paid off. They working with these people. They're going to tell you to go take it like the Christian church did when it came to 2020 and that sticky icky. All the churches got on board. Some of these phony leaders like ISUPK, they told them to go out and get inoculated, right? So what do you think is going to happen when this roll out? Because this is life and death here. Because you won't be able to go get your bottle of water. Or for the ladies to get your maxi pads, you know, your toiletries, essentials you need to survive. So what are you going to do? No one's thinking about this. That's why the men of the Lord, we talking about miracles right now. See, nobody wants to really get into this. Because it takes a great deal of faith to say, how can I just walk in the house and there's food there? People's faith is not on that level. See, we're going to need miracles when this thing is fully rolled out. And these men and these other camps and these women, they don't have that type of faith. When the going gets rough, people going to switch on each other, man. Now you got these people that did this documentary, they pulling the scripture. Revelations 13, 16, 17, they pulling the scripture out. But you got the men of the Lord pull the scripture out, and they saying that it's religion, sleeping with white women, you know, embargoes, everything else but what it is. And you see these people, they telling you straight up that it's the mark of the beast that's in the Bible, man. And we all know the scripture by now. If you don't know Revelation 13, 16, 17, 18 by now, then it might be too late for you. It just might be too late for you. Because this thing is moving real fast. And we ready. This vision is for an appointed time. And now we are here. We're at that time. This is Revelations 3 and 10. I mean, so far, we only looked at about maybe a good 8-10 minutes of it, and this intro has said a mouthful, man. I mean, they cover everything in this. It's like 25 minutes long. I don't know if I'm gonna play the whole thing, but they covered everything in this, and it's worldwide. Worldwide. It's not just Sweden. It's Germany. All these places been playing with this chip. It's Mexico. They got the Mexican police that got it in their arm. They had it since the 90s to track down criminals in Mexico and the drug cartel. They've been running this technology. Now it's time for the rollout. This is Revelation 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience. The patience goes into the suffering, the perseverance, moving on in its truth, holding to the belief. People are not going to hold to their belief when this thing is in their face. They're going to show they love their job. They're going to show they love their life and comfortability, being comfortable over getting out of here. Because once this is pushed, Yahushua is at the door. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep you from the hour of temptation. This is going to be it. Like the guy said, it ain't going to be a bunch of soldiers busting in your house, holding you down, forcibly chipping you. No. They're going to be like, hey, listen, you work 40 hours. We see it. We got 80 hours overtime. Your check is in JP and Morgan. You just need your chip to get it. Right now, your job do direct deposit, right? You can use your phone. You can deposit your check. You can move your money around, right? But that's all about to stop. The only way to get your money, and you undid 90 hours or whatever, you got overtime on top of overtime. The only way to get that money and access them funds will be this device. This is when it's going to get serious. And people going to turn on each other, man. They going to turn. Family members, everything. Everybody talking a good game right now. But the Lord ain't going to be with everybody because the Lord going to have to get us through this. What are you going to do? They're not accepting dollars anymore. They're not accepting Venmo, Cash App, Apple Pay. They're no longer accepting debit cards, credit cards. We live off credit cards. They're no longer doing it. Now you got to get this device or get out. This is when it's going to get real, man. And it's going to catch people off guard. I also will keep you from the hour of temptation. That's the promise from the Lord. The Lord going to put it in men's spirit and women's spirit to say, to hell with this. I'm choosing salvation. And they're going to walk away. Well, some people the Lord ain't going to deal with like that. He going to put a scary, fearful heart in you. Your whole body going to melt. You're going to turn pale on the inside. Because now you're looking at the world, and you know what's going to be really scary? All your co-workers going to get it. Just like they did with that sticky icky. Everybody got it. They getting paid. They around there still paying bills. And society's still going on for them. But they going to make you feel like the eyeball one. Girl, you ain't get it? Man, you ain't take it? People calling you. Man, I heard you ain't taking. You quitting? Come on, man. You did 30 years with them. You did 5 years, whatever. So it's going to be millions of people making you feel like a fool for not taking it. That's part of the temptation also. The Lord going to put a hell of a spirit on his men and his women in that day. That's what we hoping for. Because this thing is going down. It says, which shall come upon all the world, as you see in this documentary. All the world's going to have, this is the new system. You know, you got the elites that control the central banks, the International Bank of Settlements, right? That's the central bank for central banks, ran by the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds. You go on their website, they tell you the new system is digital. They telling you right there. And they control the paper system. So wherever they say goes, those are the top Edomites. So this system is being rolled out now. Hey, the apostle keeps saying it. In 6 months, we're going to start seeing commercials. Movie stars pushing it. Hey, this Super Bowl that's going down later on today, don't be surprised they throw something in it on the halftime. Because they pushing it and everything going 6G now. Now everything going to be 6G. Because 6G is going to allow the internet of everything, where you're connected to your computer system now. You're a cyborg. This is all laid out in a World Economic Forum plans. This is all they was talking about last week at the World Economic Forum. Biotechnology. Technology that measures the lifespan of a human being. And they ain't going to put these chips in like senior citizens' hand. They got 2 years to live. They're going to just let them die out in the nursing homes and the hospital. This technology is basically for the youth. That they want the children in prison to this. That's part of the new world, the new system. They know the people from the age of 35 to 55 going to rebel. You think they don't have that in their plans? That the older generation going to say, you ain't put... A lot of older people don't even want to deal with cell phones, let alone put that technology in them. You don't think the elite's ready for your ass? You got to look, they study you while your dumb ass is just living life. They study you, man. They've been studying the behavior of the public, the behavior of people when they lay something out like this. They ready to go. They ready to go. That means the Lord ready to go. So it says, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So this is NLT, to test those who belong to the world. And you're going to find out a lot of people ain't going to pass this test. This is the final test here. The Lord going to have to pull us through. This thing is going down, man. Let me see something. All right, why this thing ain't playing here? Let's see. Yeah, this thing is happening. Let me trying to play this again. Let me go out and come back here. Salakia. You know, Spirit jumped on. I was just watching. Spirit just jumped on me, man. Let me see something here. Let's see if this works.
Where this all started. Sweden didn't stumble into this technology by accident. They engineered it deliberately, and they became the testing ground for something the entire world is now copying. It started in 2015. A company called Biohacks International, led by a former body piercer named Johan Osterlund, began offering microchip implants to Swedish citizens, not as a medical necessity, not as a government requirement, as a lifestyle upgrade. Osterlund's pitch was simple and appealing. An implant is just an extension of the body. It's no different than wearing a smartwatch, except you can't lose it. And Sweden listened. Within a few years, thousands of Swedes had the chip injected into their hands. They used it to enter their workplaces without badges, board trains without tickets, pay for coffee without wallets, even unlock their homes without keys. The technology itself is straightforward. It's an RFID or NFC chip, the same type used in contactless credit cards, encased in biocompatible glass. No battery needed. It only activates when it comes near a reader. Then it transmits a unique code, a digital signature that identifies you. Small, simple, effective. But Sweden's embrace of this technology wasn't random. It fit perfectly into a larger plan already underway. Sweden has been working for years to become the world's first completely cashless society. Their central bank, the Riksbank, has published reports stating that physical money will disappear. Economist Niklas Arvidsson from the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm said it plainly, Sweden will probably be the first country in the world to completely eliminate cash. The microchip fits that vision perfectly. Better than credit cards, better than phones, because cards can be stolen and phones can die. But a chip under your skin, that's always with you, always ready, always connected to the system. Swedish banks noticed, retailers noticed, and quietly, the infrastructure began changing to accommodate chip users. More readers installed, more systems upgraded, more businesses accept payment by hand wave instead of card swipe. But the chips did more than replace wallets. They began replacing identity itself. Swedish officials started seeing potential beyond just payments. The chip could store medical information, emergency contacts, blood type, allergies. In a crisis, paramedics could scan your hand and instantly know how to treat you. It could grant access to secure buildings. Government offices began testing the system. Wave your hand, The door unlocks. No badges to forget. No cards to clone. It could verify you are who you claim to be. More reliable than a password. Harder to fake than an ID card. Suddenly, the chip wasn't just about convenience anymore. It was about control. Not forced control. Voluntary control. The kind people choose because it makes their lives easier. And that's the genius of how this is being implemented. No one is holding Swedes down and forcing chips into their hands. They're choosing it, standing in line for it, paying for it themselves. Some even throw chipping parties where groups of friends get implanted together like it's a
So you hear that? Chipping parties, man. No one's forcing them. They're choosing. And this is going to be the temptation. You want to eat? Your kids want to eat? You want to do business? You want to pump gas? You want to register your car? You want to pay your mortgage? You want to pay rent? You want student loans, tuitions, daycare? We here. They ready to go. We are at the end of the world. We are at the end of Esau's world. This prophecy takes place at the end of Esau's world. And doing this is our temptation. Yahushua shows up, man, to come and save those, the elect, that withstood, man, that stood strongly against this mark, man, against the system. They kept the faith. And this is what it's about, keeping the faith. This is Hebrews 10, verse 37. For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come. The Lord ain't going to let this crazy system go on for 30, 40 years. Everybody walking around, a new way of doing business is with your hand. No. In the midst of this man chipping everybody, Yahushua shows up to interrupt the party, okay? He talking chipping parties. This man is ready to go. This is Job 20, verse 4, NLT. Don't you realize that from the beginning of time, ever since people were first placed on the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked has been short-lived? You've been released for a short season. Yeah, your season is at the end. And this chipping process proves we are at the end. It's an end-time prophecy. So you Edomites running the earth and ruling this way and controlling the people and destroying humanity is over. We just in a waiting process until Yahushua shows up. But the planet Earth will be on fire. It will be a mess as Yahushua shows up. That the triumphing of the wicked has been short-lived, and the joy of the godless has been only temporary. You see this? So your new world order, all this stuff, looks fancy, all these gadgets, but at the end of the day, this chip belongs to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. It was written in the scriptures before it was handed over to you damn devils, man, to you Edomites. So all you doing is fulfilling end-time prophecy. Let the men of the Lord know you stripped in the men of the Lord. When the faithful seed is the strength grows stronger as the faithful seed is here. So we're in a very, very short time of you Edomites ruling. We're at the end of your system. That's what makes this even more, encouraging, man. Should I say, for the faith. For yet a little, sure, close it. You got to come back in for some. Okay. And Salakia too, there's a lot of movement in my house right now. Usually I'll be filming in my vehicle, but I was in my house and the spirit just jumped on me, man. I ain't gonna make this too long because it's noisy in here. This is Hebrews 10, verse 37. For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come. Who's the he that shall come? That's Yahushua. Yet a little while, and seeing this here, things like this, proves that we are at the end. This proves that we are at the end. And you see, my room wasn't this noisy, but you start going to the spirit, that, the demons start activating. They jump on the kids and stuff. It's just the way of this truth. Everything is a spiritual battle, because it definitely wasn't just noisy. Everybody want to pass back and forth now. It says, "For yet a little while, and he that shall come will come, and will not tarry. Now the just shall live by faith." So the men and women that make it out of this, mainly the men, the faith is hot. It's aggressive. The women, they're going to cling on to the men. We dedicating our time to this. This is numero uno for the faithful. Seeing these prophecies. Everybody else is playing with this thing. This is just another video to them. This is just another reading of the scriptures to them. But to the faithful, this is everything, man. Now the just shall live by faith. Ain't nobody got no faith to live off. So they're going to have to take this damn device. Those women that believe, the Lord going to put them with a spiritual man. And they're going to get their act together. These children, everybody about to get their act together. The only ones left speaking going to be the men of the Lord real soon. Look at this mess that Esau got set up for you. But if any man draw back, this is the unfaithful. They're going to turn to this. They're going to draw back. My soul shall have no pleasure in him. But we are not of them who draw back unto perdition, but of them that believe to the saving of the soul. And that's the push that we're going to need from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah to make it through this, because it's here. Like God says, no longer coming. We're in this. The infrastructure, everything is set up. And the elites are licking their chops. They ready to push this thing this year. This is Revelation 13 and 16. We got to get it. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor. That's everybody that deals with the dollar system. Everybody. I don't care if it's the millionaire. He uses money to buy Ferraris. He uses money to buy property. Anybody that uses the dollar system right now, your new system will be this device. All your rappers, entertainers, boxers, even the poor man on the block begging for $1. He gonna have to take it. Everybody. It says poor, free and bond to receive a mark. Now, when you go into this word mark, which we gonna go in, ain't gonna be too many of these videos. They gonna outlaw these videos going over this scripture. Ain't gonna be too many of these videos taking you hand by hand, step by step, showing you what the mark is in Greek, and you playing with it, and this thing is approaching to a theater near you. It's getting close. So this is Mark. Mark in the Greek, which is charagma, a stamp, an imprinted mark. Okay, which is a stamp. But I want to go a little deeper. I want to go into the Karax, which is the pel, which is or palisade, the tip of the syringe. But we want to go into this word right here, which is grapho. Grapho. Because all you keep hearing in this video is a computer system, a motherboard system that allows you to open doors, push buttons, pay for food, carry your medical records. This is a written system, right? That's behind the computer. A quantum system, that's going to be in that chip. And it's going to have a barcode. So when you scan, you come in contact with any transmitter and it scans, it's going to be able to differentiate if this being scanned for your health, if this being scanned for a product. Are you just identifying yourself? All this is going to be written into the grapho, the system, because grapho goes in to write or to program. To program. The Lord programs us. We are, as humans, we're programmed systems. The Lord programmed me right now to do this video, no matter what. Turn the video on, do the video. That's the program. I wasn't expecting to say anything, even though it had me going. But we're all programmed, but there's a program inside of a program, okay? And there's these AI written systems. So it says, to express written characters, behind every key, there's a 0 and there's a 1. Okay, that's behind every key. And the 0 and the 1 has its own box. But when you deal with the quantum computers, they managed to put the 0 and the 1 in the same box. That gives them more power to operate and move things faster. Which deal with the left side energy, the left hand, the spirits on the left hand side, Satan. No, it's a lot of witchcraft. And this device is an idol. Because you got to think, how much can they fit on a grain of rice? Hey, they got everything in there. So that's like taking a telephone and shrinking it down to a grain of rice and put it in your skin. That's witchcraft, man. And people going to take it because they idolize their phones. They idolize this man's system. And they're going to take it. So it's the programming system to fill with writing, to draw up in writing, to compose. So all your name, this is going to be your new wallet, compose, grapho. That's behind the system there, man. And this is the penalty, because we're gonna end this. I think you get the point. You can go over to the elders video and watch the rest, because like I said, this is pretty long, about 25 minutes long. But y'all get the point. You know, you see it. The minute that we here. This is Revelations 14 verse 9. This is the penalty for taking it. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And that's these bombs. You take this device and you go on about your day and you shopping and marrying, which is going to happen because the world won't be in total chaos. According to the scriptures, it shall be like the time of Noah. It's going to be a lot of eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, because the people that take it, life goes on for you. Now, you're going to be heavily surveilled. Your carbon, what you can buy, what you can't buy, what you can do. They might even put you inside of a 15-minute city where you can operate your device. If you leave out of that city and try to go into the next town, the device is shut off. So you're going to be just like a rat, a hamster, you know, in a program, in a project that they running. Those that consent shall be held in derision. They're going to be laughing at you. Those that take it, life ain't going to be good for you. You're just going to be able to eat a damn poisonous apple or, you know, whatever food they offer you that's going to be made out of bugs, because that's your new diet according to the World Economic System. You don't even deserve real meat anymore. So get ready to have man boobs, you know, eating all this soy. You know, they're going to work the testosterone out of whatever's left in you, so-called men. They're going to whip the rest of that out of you. They're going to break you like a rag doll, man, for taking this device. You better off just dying than to complying to something like this, man. But yeah, that's the penalty right there. You're going to be down here for the bombs. So I'm going to finish this up here. Once again, Revelations 13 and 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bound, to receive the charagma in their right hand or in their forehead. There's going to be people operating with the device, a lot of Edomites, a lot of these handicapped people, you know. They'll be able to do things with the device that's in their brain. And that no man might buy or sell, you can't live, except he that had the mark in the name of the beast and the number of his name. So the only ones that's going to be able to make it through this will be the Lord's elect. Let me see if I can play just a little more. Let me see if it's playing.
Event. Why would they resist? Sweden is a nation built on trust. Trust in the government. Trust in technology. Trust in experts. When authorities and corporations both say something is safe and beneficial, Swedes generally believe them. The culture itself made them ideal candidates. Swedes value minimalism, efficiency, simplicity. A chip that eliminates the need for keys, cards, and cash appeals to that mindset perfectly. But there's something deeper happening beneath the surface. Sweden demonstrated to the entire world that mass acceptance is possible, that a modern, educated, free society will voluntarily implant tracking technology without coercion, without force, without resistance. They proved the mark won't need to be forced. It just needs to be convenient. Professor Rachel Botsman from Oxford University, an expert on digital trust, studied the Swedish phenomenon. Her conclusion was chilling. Sweden is a laboratory for social trust. What works there can be exported to the rest of the world without difficulty. Sweden opened the door, and other nations were watching carefully, especially those who saw potential beyond convenience, those who saw control. While Sweden normalized the chip among ordinary citizens, Germany took a different approach. They brought it into the workplace, and that changes everything. In offices across Munich, Berlin, and Frankfurt, employees started receiving an offer. Get chipped, and you'll never need your employee badge again. Never fumble for your access card. Never wait at security checkpoints. Just wave your hand and walk through. For companies obsessed with efficiency, it was an easy sell. German corporations didn't market the chip as futuristic or cool. They marketed it as practical, a security solution. In a nation where precision and order are cultural values, that message resonated. One technology firm director in Munich put it bluntly: cards get lost and passwords get forgotten. Implants don't. He's right. An employee can't forget their chip at home, can't lend it to a colleague, can't lose it in the parking lot. It's always there, always working, always tracking. And that's the part they don't emphasize. Because these workplace chips do more than unlock doors. They log when you arrive, when you leave, which areas you access, how long you spend there. Some systems even track productivity metrics tied to the chip ID. Your employer knows exactly where you are. Every moment you're on company property. German workers in tech sectors, engineering firms, and biotech companies accepted this without much protest. They saw it as part of working in a modern, secure environment, the kind of workplace that values safety and accountability. But not everyone was comfortable with the implications. Miriam Vogel, a digital policy analyst and president of the organization Future Impulse, issued a warning that most ignored. When work identity becomes intertwined with the human body, the boundary between person and company begins to disappear. Think about what that means. When your ability to do your job, access your workspace, and prove your employment is literally embedded in your flesh, you're not just an employee anymore. You're company property.
There you go. There you go. For y'all that I'm gonna just take it and life goes on. No, you become a prisoner. And they gonna make it terrible for whatever months the Lord allowed this thing to take off before he shows up and this third world war break out and these nuclear missiles fly. Those that take it, you're gonna be a walking animal, man. A walking animal. While the faithful gonna be moving on. But you see it, man. You see it.
That's never existed before. And what happens if you quit? Get fired? Decide you don't want the chip anymore? The technology can be removed, but it requires a medical procedure. And some companies
so much for us a box saying you can just pluck it out of your skin when your house shot shows up, which is ridiculous. You know, it requires a medical procedure. They made it that way to get the damn thing out of you.
Writing chip compliance into employment contracts. Refuse the chip and you might not get the job. Remove it and you might violate your agreement. This is how voluntary becomes mandatory without any
mandatory. They're gonna make it mandatory. It's gonna start off voluntarily. Oh yeah, come on, this is the new way we do business. It's cool. Everybody got it. Your coworkers flashing their hand. They go on the lunch break. You know, they starting their vehicles up. They able to get gas, and you sitting there, and I ain't gonna take it. They like, what you gonna do? You don't know Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. You ain't of the faithful. You may try to last 24 hours. You might even give it a few days run. But after a while, that temptation going to get worse and worse. It's going to be too much. And you're going to end up taking it, man. So we're going to end it We're gonna end it. Hold on. This is going to.
Okay.
This is possibly the hard video. I was watching
There's a
this
site.
earlier. We're gonna end it right there. Let me read something. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. It is let me see if it is
Rivals governments. They control jobs, income, benefits.
I wanted to show how far
Identify and return runaway dogs.
Yeah, this is the far here. Let me play this real quick.
General and 160.
So this thing going bad. They've
in
been
Mexico.
Look at this
Are
guy.
having
Y'all remember
microchips
him from the
implanted in
90s?
their arm.
You remember this? This had to be about maybe 92, 93. So, but they already been working this technology back then. I gotta play this part.
The chips allow a person to be scanned, sort of like a cereal box at the supermarket checkout. In Mexico, this will be one more tool in the fight against crime. Here's ABC's John McKenzie.
You've seen it before, right out of Hollywood.
It's maybe a little uncomfortable.
A microchip inside the body. A hidden, high-tech identification tag.
They're the access codes to your job spot.
Now, Mexico's Attorney General and 160 of his deputies have had microchips implanted in their arms to control access to the country's new Criminal Investigation Center. It is to provide access, said the Attorney General, to the right people in exclusive areas where there is valuable, sensitive information. The microchip, the size of a grain of rice, is injected under the skin and gives off a low-frequency radio wave. A scanner reads each chip's identification number to verify an official's security clearance.
The microchip is tamper-proof, it's secure. No one can take your microchip and use it to their advantage to gain access to your facility.
The chip, developed by Applied Digital Solutions, is similar to those used in the U.S. to identify and return runaway dogs. In humans, it can have several uses.
Little stick.
The chips can also be programmed to carry medical information. The one in this patient details his blood type, allergies, and the fact he has Alzheimer's disease. The device is now awaiting approval from the Food and Drug Administration. Some researchers are developing microchips for use in the home so that wearing one can turn on lights and open doors. Hands-free. The next step, say researchers, is developing an implantable chip with a global positioning system to track people miles away, whether kidnapped or lost, just as cars can now be traced. A kind of LoJack for the body. John McKenzie, ABC News, New York.
That is our report on.
And we remember this guy, they was messing with this back then. Now we down there 30 years in the future. Here we go. Look at the advancement they came with this chip, man. So we here. The vision is yet for an appointed time. I'm gonna end it on Romans 13, verse 11. And that knowing the time. This is very important. People don't know. Even though they watch the videos and they see the men on the streets, you still don't know what time you in. We are of the knowing. It says of that knowing the time. Knowing in the Greek is eido, which is to see. To know the time, meaning the Lord got to turn on your eyesight so you can see. To perceive with the eyes. To perceive by any of the senses. Your spiritual discernment should be on at this time. And the Lord ain't going to announce this. You're just going to wake up because everything is flowing and it's going to be right in front of you, man. To turn the eyes, the mind, the attention to anything. The Lord got to turn you on to this information. Got to turn you on to the gospel, the good news. It's a lot to believe in. The Lord got to wake you up. He got to take that spirit of deep sleep off you. So now you can see. Now you can turn your mind to the prophecies before it's too late. To pay attention. To know is to pay attention. Not just, oh, I'm watching these videos. Man, that's good. Ooh, down back to Babylonian life. No. You better pay attention, man. You keep your eye on something when it doesn't feel right. And the tension that's in the air with Babylon, it doesn't feel right here anymore because it's not right. This is about to roll down the pipe. To see about something. To inspect to examine. Knowing the time is part of examining planet Earth. You know, 2nd Esdras 9:1 says, measure thou the time diligently. In order to measure something, you got to examine it. Measure twice, cut once in construction. Measurements are very important when you're building. And this is for the edification of the Lord's elect. So these videos, these scriptures, the times we're in, the season, is to be measured diligently by the true inspectors, man. To have an interview with, to visit, to know, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Let me just cross-reference this real quick. And that knowing the time. Matthew 16:3. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O you hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but you cannot discern the signs of the times. So you got people out here that know the weather. They can discern the sky. They know where the hurricane comes, but you don't know what season you in. You can't discern we at the end of the world. When you see this everywhere like this, they covered everything in this thing here. This is Matthew 24, verse 42. Watch, therefore, for you know not what hour your Lord doeth cometh. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known and would watch, the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as you think not, the Son of Man cometh. And all this is leading to the Son of Man showing back up, man. The marriage, the end result, the Lord saving his elect and taking down you damn Edomites, the final empire of Daniel's the 2nd chapter, and establishing the new empire, which is the kingdom of heaven, right here on earth. 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of Yahweh so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So we in a time when the Lord said, wake ye out of sleep. Know what time you in, Jake. 1 Corinthians 15:34. Awake to righteousness and sin not, for some have not the knowledge of Yahweh. I speak this to your shame. So we have the knowledge. We got it. It's being laid out, but the Lord gonna shut this thing down. We are in a time of the famine of the word. I'm gonna end it right here. This is Luke 21, verse 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, which is the visions, everything is dropping, everything is coming out now. We here, we at the end of Esau's world, the beginning of Jacob's. We see everything on planet Earth. Everything is set up, man. The MOTB is here. It's here. It says, and when you see these things begin to come to pass, then look up. Look up, man. Raise your head. We looking up. It says, and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth near. Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. You know, time is short. Our redemption is near. So when we see these prophecies banging like this is exciting. Romans 13:11 again, and that knowing the time. So know what time you in. Check your seasons out. That now it is high time to wake out of sleep. We looking up. We watching. We paying close attention. For now is our salvation, Yahushua. Matthew 24, 30, 30, and 31. For our salvation is nearer than when we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness. You should be transforming right now. And let us put on the armor of light. And we should be properly prepared with the righteous garments. You know, the white garments represent the righteousness of the saints. So in the process of this coming closer and closer, you should be changing, man, putting on that new man. This old man belongs to this dark day. But this new man, our thoughts and our conversation is in heaven, which is citizenship. So you speak about where you from. That's why Yahushua said, you are from beneath, I am from above. You are from the earth, I'm from the heavens. We speak of the things of the heavens because the heavens is about to be restructured in planet Earth. This earth is about to be transformed into a final heaven with Yahushua as the king. So this is what we speak on, preparation for the day that's at hand, giving all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha Kodash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone who told us this truth. A sincere Shalom, Labakarium, Shah Yasha'Allah, that's peace to the elect of the nation of Israel. It's time. Time is short. Shalom.